were so callously ignored because the UPP did not consider them to be people at that time. They did not have a right to complain. They could not be heard about the burdens of unjust governance. No, shut up and pay. But there are people now. Now you're going up to Freetown and Bethesda when you didn't go there for 3.5 years. There are people now. Because the UPP is smart enough. The UPP, Madam Speaker, is smart enough to remember it will need those people votes. It will need those people votes to keep itself in government, Mr. Prime Minister. Mr. Prime Minister, I don't hold no rancor or malice against you, you know. But I want to tell you, you're not going to sit there the next election, after the next election. And after making merry with the hundreds of millions of dollars mercilessly squeezed, Madam Speaker, from the same people and channeled into your UPP friends, your UPP elite supporters, your UPP elite financiers. That's who you channel it into. That's who you channel into. And you talk about corruption. That is corruption. That is corruption. But we will come to that. We will come to the corruption that has characterized the UPP's term in office. Madam Speaker, let us recall that when the UPP took over the responsibility of government in 2004, it claimed it met the economy in shambles and on the brink of collapse. We couldn't pay civil servants. We were not paying none of our international subscriptions. But while it continued to insist that the same economy that you said was in shambles, the same economy that you said was on the brink of collapse, the same so-called disastrous economy, you squeezed, you took the most taxes ever taken out of a small island state of 80,000 people anywhere in the entire world. Anywhere. Truth be told, Madam Speaker, this motley group of UPP people, this motley group of UPP tricksters, they lied to the people of this country, Madam Speaker, during the 2004 election campaign. They said that the country's taxpayers were putting enough money into the treasury to run the affairs of this country. They said they didn't need any new taxes on the books, and that there were enough taxes. The Prime Minister, he used to get up on this side of the aisle over and over and over and repeat that. We have enough taxes, we have enough taxes. Just go out there and collect them. They argued over and over again that the failures of government to pay public servants on time and meet debt commitments was simply because the ALP was corrupt. But lo and behold, the UPP government now has taken from those people and placed at its disposal almost $800 million. Almost $800 million compared to less than $400 million collected by the ALP in 2003, Madam Speaker. The UPP has in effect, they've increased the tax burden of this country by 100%. Which parts of the world, in the Western Hemisphere you hear, you increase the tax burden by 100%. That's why you have $130 million they can waste up at the stadium. Because you have money, you've squeezed the taxes out of the people. And yet, Madam Speaker, none of these massive increase in government taxation revenue has gone into meeting the commitments to Social Security and medical benefits. One single payment was made. The member for St. John's Rural East told us in his first budget presentation, he told his Honourable House that your government will be making regular payments to Social Security and medical benefits. You made one payment. One payment. Well, you made one payment better than us. I agree with that. But none of this massive increase in government taxation revenue has been able to prevent government from presiding over spiraling increases in the cost of living in this country. And I don't know since he's Prime Minister, the member for St. John's Rural West, I don't know if the member for St. John's Rural West or the member for St. John's Rural East, maybe they don't frequent supermarkets in this country, Madam Speaker. Maybe they're too big now, they don't go to the shops. They don't go to the side of the road and buy in a shop. Maybe they send the big aides and the big drivers and they aid the camps to the supermarket, but they need to go. They need to get back into reality and to touch. None of this massive increase in government taxation revenue has gone into specific plans, Madam Speaker, for reducing the high astronomical rates of electricity and water in this country. We have the highest rates of electricity in any of the OECS countries. But why don't you do something? You have $800 million. $800 million, and you've done nothing to reduce the cost of electricity and water. Nothing. When we left office, we had under 400 million. So I continue, Madam Speaker. None of this massive increase in government taxation revenue was able to prevent this same UPP government from borrowing millions and millions of dollars of high interest, financing to fix the airport, bringing to this parliament a resolution to go and borrow 137 million US, or 157 million US, nearly $500 million EC to fix VC Bird Airport. And we had to tell them, no, you're crazy, 9.5%. 9.5%, you're going to borrow $500 million. And the two of us, the Honourable Member for St. John City West, after his presentation, the member for St. John Rural West, he did the right thing. He caught the Minister of Finance off his crease. But the Attorney General told him, you better withdraw that. Withdraw it, and he withdrew it and sent it to a subcommittee of Parliament. But it's outrageous that you will even conceive to borrow $500 million at 9.5% interest without tender, without the contractor going out for tender, without the contractor. And why you didn't give it to HOK and they won the first tender? What happened to the first MOU that you signed? I hope you'll talk to that and tell us why was that scuttled? Because now you scuttled it. So don't come in here and defend nobody. Don't defend nobody because you were humiliated too. You were humiliated. None of this massive increase in government taxation revenue is allowed to have any impact, Madam Speaker, on rising crime in the country. The amount of murders in the country. Crime, people feeling unsafe to leave their homes in the evenings. What are they doing? What this $800 million is doing? Where is it going? Why not channel it into crime and prevention and the police? I don't want to hear these fancy, beautiful words. I want to see the action. So, Madam Speaker, in every single year of its stewardship so far, this government has been able to come back to this House over and over again with updated versions of its unprecedented success in taxing the people of this country out of existence. Having taken the reins of government when tax revenue, as I said, was less than $400 million a year, the UPP has raised indirect taxes, Madam Speaker, indirect taxes to $496.9 million in 2007. In 2008, the UPP will take $586.1 million in indirect taxes from the people of this country. Of this amount, $420.3 million will come from taxes on domestic trade and transactions with the ABST alone accounting. The ABST, Madam Speaker, alone will account for $230.4 million. We learn at page 55 of the budget statement, and I quote, the revenue generated from the ABST was $52.4 million higher than the 6 taxes it replaced. End of quote. Then we look at page 110. Direct taxes in 2008 will amount to $127.4 million. $18.6 million will come from property taxes. Corporate income tax will yield $53.8 million, Madam Speaker. And personal, hear this, personal income tax, which is now a larger contributor to the public purse than corporate income tax, will generate $55 million. So you see what is happening here, Madam Speaker? What this UPP government, who professes to put people first, yeah, they put people first. They put their rich friends, they put the banks downtown, they put the large insurance companies, and they put the business sector like Shaul and Asot and Hadid and Hani,